Yeah, just play it.
We're really proud of the way that we record this record. We realized that, no one, including our record label, our management, no one was expecting us to want to, let alone be ready to go and start writing and preparing for a new record. So we kind of felt like we had to prove it to them, so we went and bought what little equipment we could and did the best way we could possibly record these songs. Actually, after having recorded the record and going back, we listened to the demos the other day, and it's pretty damn good. I mean, you could tell we were pretty focused on what we were doing, and there weren't that many changes made from those demos to the recording.
Yeah,
and I think that's why people wanted, us to record our record live, because they could hear us playing it live, on these little demos.
When you're in that situation, you're rehearsing, that's the only way we could, hear our music. When you listen to it on a CD, like, you get to really feel what the song is about and feel, like, what needs to happen, and, we all kind of gave each other advice.
I just forgot when I came in.
That high note at the end, Matthew, where you, in the time before. Time before. I would stay off that for a minute.
Really?
Well, I
That's
do
what I
mix
like
it. I
about
would
it.
do that. I would. Yeah.
You like that part? It's my favorite.
A lot of the tones that we were going for with our guitars, wasn't about being on 10. It was about sometimes being on 2 in order to get that crunch or that sound that you wanted. And when you're playing live, and the fact that we were so anxious, you end up, the headphones are off your head once you start to get into it, so we'd just be like, fuck it,
It's a good
And I would maybe wear one headphone and try to play like that, but I think our best stuff was when we had no headphones at all.
We're not going to sit down and try to write a shitty song. You think a B-side, obviously a throwaway song, something that you can go to the well to if need be.
Yeah.
But writing a song, you can't sit here and be like, okay, I'm just going to half-ass it and hopefully this will be good enough. Anytime you sit down and write a song or try to record a song, you want it to be something you're proud of and something. We never went into it with, okay, this is obviously a B-side, this is obviously going to be a single, no, we just recorded 14, 15 songs.
I am wanting to write songs that, people will look at and think of them as smart. Some songs we're writing stories and we're, like 4 Kicks, that we had a meaning to that, and all this stuff. But like Milk, it was like, I was just writing about a girl that I had just broken up with, and every word was completely honest. As a matter of fact, we were in the car driving from Reunion while I was sitting there writing lyrics, and me and Jared were talking back and forth, and our dad was riding with us and he kept making jokes, And it got to the point where I was almost like, hey, we're being serious. We have to really write these lyrics. By the end of it, you're sitting there going, there's no way in hell they're making that a B-side. Because you end up, everything that's pent up, everything that you didn't say, and everything that, you know, is building from that, you know, it ends up coming out, and it ends up, in a way, almost being more pure than a lot of the other stuff that was on the record.
You have 1 week left and it's your last chance to say something that you didn't say, and it's almost like you soak up that last bit of inspiration, and a lot of times there's a lot more than you expected. Not only did, you know, like, we write all of the music, but like we arranged it all and did like pretty much everything you could do besides producing it.
Because we did that, our heart was in it a lot more, and it was like a team effort. I mean, because we were all at the house together. This one, it was more about just go with what you're feeling. I could hear Jared playing the bass and be like, that sounds good, and then we'd build from that, or the drum beat, or Matthew's guitar part, or something like that. It was a much better process, I think. And I'm convinced that if we do our next record like that, it'll, not only will we be able to do it, but we'll be better at doing it, you know. And if we continue to do it every time, by the end of it, people wouldn't believe that it was live. They'd be like, no way. We are at a stage that should be captured, and should be captured in a real way. Because most of the bands that are still talked about today are talked about that because the way their method was unique and their method was honest, you know, and that's what we want. Recording is not a joke, and what you're doing is not a joke. And to go in there and use all of these high-tech things to make it something, you don't need that shit. You have to look at yourself and realize that, man, I'm a fan of our band, you know? I wouldn't put as much time and effort into this if I wasn't a fan. If you'll listen to the lyrics, there are times I don't expect you to understand what I'm saying. You know, I'm trying to speak my own language just so, you know, just so I can tell them, be like, you know what I mean right there? I'm meaning this. And they'll be like, oh. And no one else knows what it's really about, you know? And that's special to me. If 20 years from now, if we've only made 2 records and you know, no one knows who the hell we are, we still all know the, you know, the secrets and the hidden messages behind what we were trying to do.